We're in the car on the way to my cousin Mike's Sugar Shack, December 24th, 2024. It is a pretty day here. It's not as cold as it has been. See, the car is reading 31. That's really good. It was in the garage, so it might be a little cooler outside. I don't know.
A little bit, maybe.
And we're going to a Sugar Shack where Mike boils down the sap from maple trees to make maple syrup. And then we're off to the candlelight service at church. But I thought it'd be interesting to see a Sugar Shack. I personally have never been inside one. I've enjoyed the maple syrup that comes from them, but never been in one myself. Looking forward to it. Just hours earlier, we finally replaced our old oven with this new beauty, our Christmas present. Isn't it something? Look at the color of the oven. Gorgeous! When we arrive at Mike and his wife Marla's house, we find out we have a half a mile to walk down to the Sugar Shack. Jeff opts to ride the snowmobile. First snowmobile ride ever for my Alabama boy. And I realize everyone's wearing snowsuits. We're not. Thankfully, we find out the Sugar Shack has a wood-burning stove in it. Phew! I was dressed pretty warm, but my legs did get cold and my toes, so I was pretty happy when we finally reached the Sugar Shack. There I met friendly faces of friends and family, and they were munching on goodies, and of course there were alcoholic beverages. I mean, how else do you stay warm out in the freezing cold? Now the kids did not partake. They got extra energy to run and play, but us older folks benefited from a little bit of that alcoholic beverage. Because I was a reader at the church service later that evening, I had to pass it by. But then I saw the stove, the beautiful warm stove. A beautiful fair-haired little girl who'd been eating something yummy, and Jiffy Jeff keeping warm inside. I drifted over to the stove, warm and snug, the bricks emanating such coziness. Above, I saw pictures of the family enjoying Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve here in the Sugar Shack.
There you go. Yeah.
This is my cousin Mike Johnson, and this is his Sugar Shack. Mike Johnson and his cousin Jeff Johnson were always good friends growing up and would take me water skiing when I was a kid. This is their uncle Robert Johnson. Look at that fancy hat he's got keeping his head warm. And there's that sweet little pretty girl again. Here is my cousin Heidi taking a picture with her son, her daughter-in-law, her oldest grandchild, and her newest grandchild, 5 weeks old little boy, who was such a good baby, and beautiful too. I couldn't resist playing with the phone on the wall. Hello?
Okay.
Oh yes, it's an old-fashioned telephone.
Find it?
We saw an old sign inside too, from back in the day when my uncle Dwayne Johnson sold cattle. It had to be, well, very old. The kids enjoyed many rounds being pulled behind a snowmobile and sleds. I miss those days when I was young and did that too, although I think our sleds were wooden. And instead of all this nice lightweight winter wear, we had heavy woolens that were stinky. A poem by me, Oopsy Annie. The wool itched, scratched, and smelt appalling, like musty basement, like mothballs, like a dirty dog. I fussed and fumed as Grandma bundled me tight, then carried woolen me outside quick to waiting sleigh, and plugged me tightly squeezed between the cousins. My eyes were the only part of me free to see. Look! Out at the cold winter of the world go by so fast, as Grandpa drove the roaring, rumbling snowmobile, pulling a wooden sleigh full of squealing children over farm fields once full of tall corn stalks. I forgot the itch, the scratches, the musty odor of my woolen cocoon, as frigid north wind slapped my eyes, making me close them tightly shut, to cuddle down warm between the bodies of my cousins, feeling every bounce of machine over snow-packed land, feeling warm, cozy, grateful for stinky wool and cousins. Yes, there's nothing better than cuddling up next to people on a cold day. The dogs will agree, I'll tell you that much. Right? Yes. We had so much fun, but we had to hurry off to the Christmas Eve candlelight service, and we made it in time. Phew! Christmas dinner, supposed to have happened on Christmas Day, arrived on a Sunday instead of a Wednesday, due to colds within the family. So on Sunday afternoon, we arrived at Clearwater Lake and found ice houses on it. I was told later that the ice was 9 inches deep. Oh, that seems pretty deep. There was very little snow on top of it. It looked like you could ice skate on it. And if I was 40 years younger, I may have done so. We were at my Uncle Les and Aunt Carol's house. It's hard for me to leave the water when I'm near it, and so I came out and stared at it for a little while, in stocking feet, mind you. The cold didn't bother me one bit. I was too full of wonder. Someday, I want to get back inside an ice house. You know I haven't been in one since I was 12 years old. That's a long time. I think it's time now, at the age of 60, I should try it again. Inside my Uncle Les's house on the lake, we were snug as a bug, and my Aunt Carol made a delicious meal. We enjoyed good company, and on top of it all, the Vikings won. Hurrah! A very special Christmas gift, for sure. All right, well, it was very dark when we left, as you can see, and icy. This is how we left the island, on a little narrow road with ice on it. Here we go. Whee! Don't hit the brakes, Jiffy Jeff. Up, we made it. Isn't it dark out in the country at night in northern Minnesota? I've never known a place that could be so dark. Maybe that's why I became a poet, a storyteller, someone who definitely likes a good spooky story once in a while. It was my childhood in a place that could be so dark when the moon was new. But when the moon is full, oh, you should see it glow off of the white snow. And the stars, when the sky is clear, there are so many stars. And every once in a while, you might even see the northern lights. Happy New Year, everyone. May next year be everything beautiful for you. Love all life around you. Be inspired. Be grateful. Birth joy. I'm Oopsy Annie. Bye-bye now. Mwah. See you next time.